bustling city at dawn. Industrious workers set out from their homes, coming and going in a perfect and productive ballet. But by evening, the workers vanish. No trace of foul play, no bodies left behind. Mass disappearances like this have recently occurred across the globe. Not of humans, but of millions of honeybees.
In a matter of a month and a day, from the time I set the bee down until I came back, they had disappeared.
You go up to a beehive that previously was populous, many bees, thousands of bees, and a few days later, almost all the bees are gone.
Beekeepers around the world are warning that a crisis is brewing. A phenomenon dubbed colony collapse disorder has mysteriously emptied beehives in at least 35 states. And from Europe to South America, the bees are disappearing.
There is something very different here, and we don't know what to do about it, and we don't know what's causing it. So that's why this problem is really concerning.
Estimates are that about 600,000 of America's 2.6 million honeybee colonies may have just disappeared.
In some areas of the country, up to 80% of the honeybees have vanished in as little as 6 months. And for such a small insect, the bee's disappearance could have colossal repercussions for humans.
They're tiny creatures, their brain is small, and yet honeybees are the most important pollinator on the planet. They account for about 1/3 of the food that's produced in America.
Honeybees pollinate nearly 100 of our most important crops. Fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, even fibers like cotton. In the United States alone, the value of their services exceeds $15 billion.
We rely on this one species to do all this pollination, and they're in trouble. Unless we only want to eat corn, wheat, and rice, we need bees.
Without bees, life as we know it, I don't think will exist.
The vanishing bees have spurred the launch of a global investigation, with beekeepers and scientists racing against time to answer the question, why are the bees disappearing? Possible suspects include toxic pesticides, parasites, malnutrition, or even an AIDS-like virus sweeping through the insect world. Pressure mounts to find a solution before the planet's premier pollinator is gone for good. Colony collapse disorder has surprised the public with the realization that the future of our food supply rests on the tiny honeybee. For many people around the world, the potential impact of colony collapse disorder is difficult to fathom. The loss of fruits, vegetables, even forage crops essential for meat and dairy cattle.
Basically, flowering plants evolved with bees, and so they need each other in order to survive. So without bees or any of the insect pollinators, you won't get any fruits and you won't get any vegetables. What you'll be left with are all the plants that are wind pollinated, unless you can hire hundreds of thousands of people to hand pollinate these crops.
Humans playing the role of honeybee. It seems an impossible scenario from a dark future. Whatever methods they develop to fight the virus, scientists stress that bees are up against more than a single threat.
There's something more going on here than just this virus. This virus may be the cause of CCD, or even a sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. If CCD is caused by a combination of factors, this may be the one that pushes them over the edge. But certainly this virus alone is not the reason why worldwide we're having a decline of pollinators.
Honeybees still have problems. If we find a cure for whatever the virus is, it doesn't necessarily mean that the honeybee populations will recover. They still have many other stresses to deal with.
Although the bee's future is uncertain, colony collapse disorder has ensured that this extraordinary animal will no longer be taken for granted.
What CCD has done is it's highlighted the fact that bees are in trouble. But there are a lot of bees dying every year, and they've been dying for 20 or 30 years like this. and we need to address that issue of bee health.
If there's anything good that could come out of colony collapse disorder, first is having the attention by the media and the public on the problem here. That people beginning to realize how important bees and pollinators are.
Beekeepers anxiously wait to see if this winter, almost a year after it first appeared, CCD will strike again. They emphasize that we have never had more at stake.
We're scared to death because 1/3 of all the food we put in our mouths is put there by honeybee. So in a long-term effect, it could be a very damaging thing to our whole, way of survival.
Honeybees pollinate all those foods that nutritionists are exhorting us to increase our consumption of. It's the fruits, nuts, and vegetables. We'll still have bread, but all the color and vitality will be much harder to get and much more expensive.
We need to be prepared to eat gruel without anything else if we don't have any of these pollinators.
I think we should be concerned as a world about what's happening. People are saying, well, we could get by eating wheat and corn and that, but yes, but that we would lose everything else that makes life so special.
Are you ready? Do you have what it takes to not only survive hard times, but also thrive in them? In times like these, the most valuable currency we have is food and food reserves. It is more precious than gold, oil, and cash. Food is our greatest dependency, because when you're hungry, nothing else matters. You know it, and I know it. You can't control earthquakes, floods, or the real estate meltdown. But if you have food, you have personal solutions to how these things affect you. Register right here, right now, and order your 6 free meals so you can truly discover what the currency of the future and your freedom taste like.